Hey, how you doing, folks? It is Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Whew, say that fast. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. And I'm going to leave the music up today. Maybe it's going to interfere with the video, maybe it won't. But playing a little bit of Bible jazz off of YouTube today. And I just enjoy it. It's fun. It's good stuff. What's weird about listening to Bible jazz is, the music's playing in the background, do 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 do, and then the words start, and then you find yourself like you know the words. You never heard the song before, but you know the words, and it's because you know the words, right? So God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. Yeah. So I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Hey, let's get to a couple of things. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. I'm laying awake last night, right? And I should say I'm lying awake, right? I want to make sure I get my grammar correct. I'm lying awake last night, and I'm thinking, not begrudgingly, I'm thinking with excitement about all of the freaking content I've got to make. All this stuff is just like, boom, there's an idea. Boom, there's an idea. Boom, there's an idea. And that comes into the focus part, right? So we talk about Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Fitness, I'm going to go mountain biking. Perfect. I got that covered. Fitness, let's go mountain biking. Boom, done. Focus. Oh my gosh, I got so much content I got to make. Oh my gosh. And so I started thinking about this. Like just yesterday, a SAAS company reached out to us and asked us if we would review their SAAS product. It's called FlexClip. And so we thought, yeah, we could review FlexClip, but here's the thing. We don't review product unless you give us access to the product. And they said, no problem, we'll give you access to the product. And I said, well, that's fantastic. I said, but you should also know that we have an apprentice program that we're launching on twofold. We have a virtual one that's called WP Agency Academy, and we have an in-person one that we're launching called the Sunflower Launch. Now, what you may or may not know is the Sunflower Launch is actually going to be launched in person here in Hutchinson, Kansas. And, I had been working with J.K. Van at the city. I had a couple of meetings with him, with the Startup Hutch guys, and I talked about it. Everybody seemed to like the idea. And then all of a sudden, it was like chess. Everybody moved around, right? So J.K. left the city. Jackson left Startup Hutch. Graham's in there. Graham's doing great work at Startup Hutch, but he ain't looking out for Kurt with the apprentice program. And the people at the city, I don't think anyone at the city now knows that there's a startup, apprentice program. And the people at the community college, Amy, great lady, does the apprenticeship stuff, but she didn't really seem to have she thought it was a good idea, but I could see in her eyes, it wasn't like, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna run this standard right up to the head office and get you some funding. It wasn't like that. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to do this thing myself. And I'm okay with that. It's just, it takes effort. Let's turn this down a little because now it is getting loud. So let's it takes effort. And so, crazy happenstance. I'm going to be the guest speaker at an event. A lot of people are going to be there. There's a resource fair afterwards, and I'm told I could put a booth up at this resource fair to promote the apprenticeship program. Okay, now, so that's launching. That's happening. That's really a thing. I just want to encourage people. You have an idea, you want to pay it forward, you think you got a way to help some people. Just focus on helping the people, and the rest of it is going to fall in place. I say this all the time, and people, I know that people think I'm nuts. We don't listen to commercials. I know that people are going to think that I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I know, as a person of faith, I know if I am feeling like I'm driven to do something, and then I do a little analyzing and a little prayer and I put a little more thought into it, and then I get reassurance. Is it the right thing or is it the wrong thing? It's the right thing or the wrong thing. Is God really saying to do this? Right? The burning bush in my front yard is broken, so I have to, I really have to put some thought. This apprenticeship program, I'm telling you, folks, is one of those things where I'm like, I need to do this. I'm 58 years old. there's not a lot of young people coming up behind me in this digital marketing space that understand the intricacies of digital marketing and how to run a successful agency. And so I'm like, if we can teach people, let's do it. So WP Agency Academy, Sunflower launch. Like I said, one's virtual, one's in person. The in-person one is officially launching in August. Now, what's really cool about that is it's launching with the first, what do you call it, trimester, the first, season of school. And that's going to give us the opportunity to speak at the school, to do the things that we want to do, so that when that semester's over, as people, successfully navigate their school courses, they will be able to join our apprenticeship program. Now, this does a couple of things. This gives me people to delegate the things that hold me back. Let's just be honest. It's going to give me labor to delegate to people. And there's grants and there's all kinds of things that help with the funding of this. So we can actually we can have a paid apprenticeship to come in, learn what we do, but also pick up the slack on some things that are repetitive that would free me up to focus more on sales and business growth. Okay? Just being real. That's how that works. And then what'll happen is through the apprentice program, people will start to bring in their own lower tier jobs, their own lower tier contracts and sales. And we will walk them through the process, hands-on with clients, so that when they graduate school, they'll know what to do. They'll know how to price a job. They'll know how to do a proposal. They'll know how to invoice people. Like, all of that is going to be thrust on them. Now, when I say I'm lying awake at night thinking of the content, we already have a 46 lesson course that opens up, that's the foundation of those organizations, right? The foundation of the apprenticeship program is that 46 lesson course. But we've done it with others, but let me tell you about how this Flex Clip thing's going to work. So Flex Clip reaches out and says, hey, would you review our product? Sure. Hey, I also have this apprenticeship program. In my apprenticeship program, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to graduate these kids out of the apprenticeship program with a treasure trove of tools for at least 1 year before they have to start paying for stuff. I want you to think about this. Imagine, you can't just give it to people. You can't just say, hey, I've got this package, take it and go run with it, right? If I said, here's a year's free hosting and the license to 5 or 6 different major plugins or software programs and access to these 3 SaaS platforms, and it's yours for free, right? If they didn't graduate the apprenticeship program, if they didn't have any skin in the game, if they hadn't suffered, any kind of action to be in that space, it would be a waste. We would just give that to people and it would just get sucked up, used, and gone, okay? Look at this from another perspective. As an agency, I got to stress this, right? Because it's different. Like, if you've never run an agency, this might not make sense to you. As an agency, there are some core elements in how Mañana No Mas builds really great repetitive but special web packages. So we primarily use WordPress. No big surprise there. We primarily use WordPress, and then we have some big hitters, right? Gravity Form, Fluent CRM, Lifter LMS. These are all things that are pretty consistent within our builds. WooCommerce comes into play sometimes. Fluent Cart comes into play sometimes. And so what we're doing is we're working with these plugin companies to say, hey, after we graduate these apprentices, after they've put skin in the game, we want to give them a year to get launched without the stress of having to capitalize their own adventure. Okay? So what that means is they come into the apprenticeship program, and when they graduate the apprenticeship program, we say, great, here's a year's worth of free hosting, right? So now you can host websites, right? You can sell, build, and host websites for a year for free, right? So here's a year's worth of hosting. Here is a license to Lifter LMS. Here is a license to Gravity Forms. Here is a license to Fluent. Here is a license to. Now you go and you build these things. You go sell. Go sell. Create revenue. So we're giving them the opportunity to create revenue before expenditure. Revenue before expenditure. As I grew my agency, I didn't have that. Every time I wanted to sell something, I had to come up with a way to buy it first before I could build on it and then sell it. So there was always like this sowing of seed and then a long time to harvest. And it was very, very struggling, right? So what I'm trying to do with this apprenticeship program is I'm trying to say, hey, I've already got a thriving farm. I'm going to let you come in here. You're going to help me do a little bit of work with the harvest on my side, okay? And I'm going to give you a cut of that harvest. And then you're going to be able to take that harvest and you're going to go be able to take the seed from that harvest. Think about how farming works, right? You're going to be able to take some of the seed from that harvest and you're going to be able to grow your own farm, right? And I want you to succeed. That's where people get lost. People think I'm raising my own competition. I am not raising my own competition. I am Kurt Von Onen. I run Mañana No Mas. I am an expert in the space. If people want to work with me, they're going to work with me. There is no competition for Kurt or Mañana No Mas. But Kurt and Mañana No Mas aren't going to last forever, right? Not going to last forever. And we need to do our part. We need to bring people up that are younger, that have energy, that are savvy, that are smart. We need to bring these people up and give them an opportunity. So yeah, if I sound like I'm impassioned, it's because I am. Like, this is a real passion piece for me. It's what I do that's given me the freedom, the financial freedom. I've been able to do some things. Do I have a Corvette in the driveway yet? No. I always say that because I always wanted a Corvette. I don't have a Corvette. I don't have a Corvette in the driveway. I don't have a Harley Davidson in the garage either. As I got older, I thought, you know what? A Harley would be nice. A Harley would be nice. Maybe I'll get a Harley. Maybe I'll get, a Street Glide or something. Don't have it yet. Okay, don't have it yet. At one point in time, I had one of every Ducati made in a season in my garage. Okay, so it's not that I've never had motorcycles. It's not that I've never had, the fun, right? But as I've gotten older, I've thought to myself, hey, it would be kind of nice to have a Harley. Or it would be nice because I live in Kansas and there's a lot of dirt roads in Kansas. Wouldn't it be cool to have like an old GS 1100 with heated grips and that little windshield? Wouldn't it be awesome to have that and go ride that around? Like, that would be awesome, right? Don't have it yet, okay? But I got a house. I built a camper van that we own, no payments, right? I got a driveway full of cars out there. Own it, no payments. We did buy my wife a car, and Stevie Cook. What a great opportunity you're throwing up. Let's throw that up on screen. Stevie Cook, she's awesome. By the way, I work with Stevie at the Marine Retailers Association. She is amazing. And do I still have it here? I do. Stevie Cook is now an author. So let's plug somebody. Let's do that while we can. The Wreck and the Witness by Stevie Cook. The Wreck and the Witness. I read the book. It was pretty fun. It's good. Sad story. Her son got hurt really badly. He's fine now. Got hurt really badly, but it's a real walk through faith and overcoming. So I throw that out to people that follow me. Give Stevie Cook a chance. Go ahead and get The Wreck and the Witness. And like I said, I work with Stevie at the Marine Retailers Association. It's an amazing program. Boom. There we go. So the apprenticeship program, I'm super stoked about. Super, super passionate about it. Now let's talk about like switching gears, because this whole thing was Fitness Focus Freedom Friday and upcoming content. Everyone's like, what is all this upcoming content you're talking about? And the reason I can't sleep at night is because I've got to prioritize and strategize what we're putting forward, right? So next on the list is I'm remaking some of the content for the Powersport Academy. I thought it was super cool. I had a course on key performance indicators, right? So a key performance indicator is something you measure with your business so that you can see, hey, is this thing growing or shrinking? Am I going in the right direction? And when I recorded that, I thought it was cool. But I recorded it while I was riding a bicycle. So while I was riding my bicycle, I was talking about key performance indicators in athletics. I was saying, hey, How far am I going to go? How long is it going to take? How many calories am I burning? How many calories did I intake? How many, right? So I was talking about if this is the thought that goes into long distance bicycle riding, what would be the thought that would go into business, right? And I was trying to build that parallel, and I thought it was a really cool thing. And over time, people have enjoyed the course. But we have a new level of people coming into the course. And we're working with Hero Hub, and Hero Hub's making referrals for our content. And I want to put the best foot forward. And when I took a look at, recently, when I took a look at some of our material, I was like, ooh, that's dated. Like, you know, when you look at a video and you go, that video looks like it's 10 years old. There you go. This video looks like it's 10 years old. So I'm going to remake that content. I might take some snippets out of the old videos and be like, boom, you know, just for fun, like this is what we did. But we're going to redo these videos. And we have a new season of power sports training starting in August. So we actually talked about starting in late July, but I'm thinking it's going to be August. So I've got to make that content, got to get it edited, and I got to get it up there and get that going. Another category of upcoming content. I have decided, and this is a counter advice decision. A lot of people have said, Kurt, you got to slow down, man. You got to focus, which is the name of this, right? Fitness, Focus, Freedom Friday. But people said, hey, you got to slow down. You got to focus. And here's what I took from that. My focus as a digital agency that focuses on e-learning, right? If I'm helping other corporations make e-learning packages, if I'm helping people become course creators, or I'm helping people with continuing education and create learning products that can be sold through colleges and universities and businesses, if I'm making that, wouldn't it make sense that I would have my own successful e-learning projects out there? Wouldn't it make sense that if someone came to me and said, hey, Kurt, I'm interested in having you make this some e-learning, but could you show us an example of something that you would consider a successful project, right? I want to make sure that I have those. I know that for some people that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like you're like, no, just focus on selling and making it for other people. I want to have some successful e-learning projects of my own. So the Power Sport Academy is one. I already talked about that. We're making the content. Hero Hub's selling the stuff. It's great. That's fantastic. I'm thrilled that that's working. We have another one called the Action Leadership Team. The Action Leadership Team is the sister product to the leadership book that I wrote, Action Leadership from the Edge. So I'm taking another look at that, right? The same thing that you should do with all of your content. Take a look at it. Go, do I need to refresh this? Is this something I need to do? Da, 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 da. And then we have the Pedal Academy. Now, what did I say I was doing for fitness today? Oh, that's right. I'm going to go mountain biking. I love mountain biking, by the way. So I'm going to go mountain biking. I am also making a website called the Pedal Academy. In the Pedal Academy, we are trying to inspire parents, especially parents. I would like to have a section for old people in it. I might do that. I might, because I put right on the homepage, hey, we didn't forget about you old people. Like, we're coming for you. But the foundation of the website is I'm really focused on younger families and how to get their youngsters involved in bicycling at an earlier age. The advantages and the benefits that bicycling has done inside my own family is fairly amazing. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, my son just graduated college and high school. He's in Colorado at a Christian horse camp for the summer. He's got a mountain bike with him right now. He just finished up his last season of NICA Kansas racing. And during that time, he became someone that's a leader within his peers. Okay, so I want you to like picture this. So he's older on the team. He's a senior on the team. It's from 5th grade to senior year. He's a leader on his team. And he says, hey, it's great that the coaches have practice on Sunday, but hey guys, what if we got together on Tuesdays and Thursdays and we did conditioning nights? So after school, Tuesday and Thursday, let's say 6 o'clock at night, we meet at Orchard Park and we make our own conditioning practice. Okay, fast forward, his conditioning practice became 10 times more difficult than the practice the coaches ran on Sunday. He was running these kids ragged. And now what happens when he runs these kids ragged on conditioning? Our team, Hutch Composites, we're on the podium. So JV3, Colin Patton wins the whole season. He won the whole season of JV3. And then not JV, MS. I think they call it MS, right, for middle school. So middle school 3, Ben Ben didn't just win. Ben went out and stomped his class. I mean, first lap 30 seconds ahead, second lap a minute 40 ahead, third. What's happening? I said, Ben, I'm not shocked that you won. Like, I don't want to say, like, you don't want to go up to your kids and go, oh my God, I can't believe you won. That's crazy. I never thought that would have happened. Like, you don't want to do that as a coach, right? But as a coach, you're like, where did that come from? Okay, you won. That's great. But you didn't just win. You won by like 3 minutes. How did you get that? And he looks at me and he goes, man, those conditioning nights that Hayden's been doing, I think it made all the difference. Right? And that's an example of somebody with 360-degree leadership capability, right? Hayden, my son, who I'm very proud of, he didn't lead from a position of leadership. It's not like he's the coach and he said, go get this done. He said, hey, guys, let's go do this thing. And they all said, yeah, let's go do this thing. And then our team, our little team from Hutchinson, we don't even have a mountain bike trail in our town. If I want to go mountain biking, like real mountain biking, I got to go to Coronado Heights, which is almost an hour away, or I got to go 90 minutes away to Lake Wilson. And this kid gets everybody riled up, and we're on the podium. Not only that, we won Team Trail Corps for the individual space. Hayden did that. Hayden won, right, for the year, right, #1 in Trail Corps, so he's on the podium. First place, right? So at the awards ceremony, our little team is up there 3 times in first place, and then we're in third place for Trail Corps overall team experience, right? So Mally took the podium for that, and then Ethan went up there and took our fourth place overall. We don't even have a mountain bike trail, and we got 4th place overall in the Kansas Mountain Bike Series. It's crazy to me, crazy. What a year. We had a phenomenal year. Just finished up last weekend. I'm still so excited. So, Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Boom. Content. That's what I'm talking about. Pedal Academy. I am making a ton of content. And the thing is I have to be focused when I make this content because I have to remember who it's for. We're trying to inspire parents to get their younger kids on bicycles earlier in life. And I want to focus on the idea that we have scholarships, we have loaner mountain bikes, we have equipment. So if parents are like, well, we're from a small town and we don't have that kind of money, hey, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the money. It'll take care of itself, okay? Let's just get the kids, if they're interested, let's just get the kids on the bikes and let's get them out to practice and let's see if they really enjoy it. If they don't enjoy it, they can walk away, no problem. If they do enjoy it, we want to pour into them. And you as a parent are going to have, not just you, but now you're going to have this handful of other adults that pours into your kid and works with them on confidence, coordination, physical ability, strategy, all these things. And it really helps bring a kid up when they get that sense of accomplishment. Mountain biking is one of those things where somebody can get a sense of accomplishment regardless of what the goal is. So Ben, perfect example, Ben wanted to win. We had another kid wanted a top 10. Guess what? Brock got a top 10, right? We had another kid. I just want to earn a second lap because it's a timed event. If you do the first lap within a certain amount of time, you get to ride the second lap. And if you do the second lap within a certain amount of time, you get to ride the third lap, right? So you can have a max of 3 laps in the younger classes. And so one kid's like, I just want to get that second lap. Boom, second lap, goal attained. And smiles and beaming faces. So the kid that gets the second lap is just as happy as the kid that won the event by 3 minutes, right? But they're in the same race. But it's not like basketball where the goal is to win and everybody's got to come together to win. If somebody drops the ball, well then they're the loser, right? It's not like that. Mountain biking is like it's a team sport, but it's very individualized, where the goals are very personal. And we as coaches, we're there to help them celebrate when they get to those personal goals. So really enjoy that, okay? Now, let's talk about other stuff. Mañana No Mas. So Mañana No Mas also has some content to be made because let's face facts. Mañana No Mas is the cornerstone location. Mañana No Mas is where our business is. And so we got the Sunflower launch, we got WP Agency Academy, we got the Pedal Academy, we got the Powersport Academy, we got the Action Leadership Team. All of those things are great projects, but no one's going to find those things unless we keep making content for Mañana No Mas, like this video right here. So with this video, I'm trying to get you spooled up about everything here, but there's more to it. So Mañana No Mas is working on a new shorts strategy where, where you make the video clips and stuff. So we're working on that. And I'm on 5 podcasts a week. So I'm working on taking those segments that I do elsewhere and bringing those into like the Mañana No Mas framework a little bit so that people really understand what it is we do at Mañana No Mas. I have heard from some people that our website doesn't do a great job of selling what we actually are trying to sell. In fact, I have a meeting on Monday with a copyright expert. We might be changing a lot of the content in Mañana No Mas to do a better job of selling what it is we're actually trying to sell. I'm looking for enterprise level e-learning clients. I need people that have funding. That's a big one. I need people that have funding, that have content, that are looking for like a great project manager to just take it off their shoulders, build that e-learning platform, work them through a little bit of consulting and have a kick-ass product on the back end. Like that is what we are really, really great at. And we just did it for our soft launch last week. We have a customer. It's pfuniversity.org. pfuniversity.org. It is the Prestige Family Office Management Training. We have colleges already lined up to take their courses. So, this is a great example. They've got tons of content. They've got funding. They have a direction, right? They know what they're doing. They have a goal. And we're able to come in on the back end of this, work with really great people, put together a great program, build it up, make it look pretty decent, put some good content in. We launched their MVP last week as a soft launch. We're still working on building out the CRM, adding some sales pages and some automation and stuff. But the MVP's launched and it's going swimmingly so far. So very, very awesome. And that's what we want to sell more of that. We want to sell more of that. Do we still work with startups? Do we still help people with food trucks get their website launched? Do we help with some, entry-level e-commerce? Absolutely. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. But our website's not doing a great job of saying what we're phenomenal at. And we're working towards that. So you're going to see some changes in Mañana No Mas, and you're going to see some changes in the content as well. One of the things I fail to say here a lot is like, share, and follow. I realize if you don't ask, it doesn't happen. And I'm just going to be honest, on the YouTube side of things, we are extremely low on subscribers. Now, a certain magic happens when you get 1,000 subscribers, right? You're able to monetize, you're able to get exposed to more people, all these things. So we're only at like 111 subscribers, and I've got like 1,300 or 1,400 videos in there. So what I'm asking for today is, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you to go to YouTube, look up Mañana No Mas, subscribe to the channel. Just subscribe to the channel. Even if you never come back and watch me again, subscribe to the channel. If I can get up to 1,000 subscriptions, I get access to more things in YouTube. It's going to help me promote more. So if we could do that, that would be great. And folks, have a wonderful weekend. I can't be more excited. Okay, it's so hard. I just sold that public talk this week, right? So I'm going to speak in August. I told you about that. And I said, hey, if you need to show your board, how I communicate or how I talk, I'm on 5 podcasts a week. You could just look up Kurt Von Ahn on the internet and they'll see, who am I? What do I look like? What do I sound like? I said, but please know that when I'm in person, it's a lot more interactive. It's a lot more fun. It's great. Like when you're in a room with people, it's totally different. So please let them know that, it's going to be a little bit different. So hopefully you can sense my excitement here. like I said, I was lying awake last night and I was thinking about all these projects, all these things we have to do. And it wasn't dread. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to make all this stuff. It wasn't like that at all. It was like, I get to, I get to, I get to make great content to get kids on mountain bikes. I get to make great content that's going to teach these youngsters how to start their own businesses and thrive, right? Imagine being a small town in Kansas and growing these kids up and watching them finish school and leave. Right? It's like watching that movie. Remember that old movie where Tom Cruise played football? That's like a weird one, I guess. But Tom Cruise played football and he worked in a steel mill or something, or his family worked in a steel mill. And the whole thing was, I got to get out of this town. I got to get out of this town. I'm going to miss my chance. I'm not going to say that we're a steel town in Kansas because that doesn't make any sense. But people act like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I got to graduate to school and get out of here. I'm going to go get a job in San Diego. I'm going to go get a job in San Francisco. Why? Why? Why would you do that? I just escaped California. And I got to Kansas and saved enough money after just 1 year to be able to buy a house. Like, if you stay here and find a way to generate revenue, A, you add to the tax base. B, you give the town a chance to have a breath of fresh air. Instead of being like a giant retirement community where the old people hang out, imagine some younger people are here. Younger people growing a thriving business that can sell anywhere in the world, right? They can sell, they can generate revenue from anywhere in the world and then live somewhere where the cost of living is so awesome that if they wanted a Corvette, they're young, they don't have kids to raise, they can go get that Corvette. That you want a house, get a house. But build the revenue, right? So if we put people that are revenue savvy into a place where the cost of living is less, it adds to the tax base and creates a better stability for the community while adding tremendous value to the younger people going through the apprenticeship program. So super, super stoked on that. I realize I knew before I even hit record. I knew before I even started go live, right? I knew that this presentation was going to feel like a ping pong ball. I knew that it was going to cover a lot of things. So hopefully you haven't lost faith in me or thought that, yeah, I'm unfocused and I'm all over the place. I got to tell you, there's so much focus here. It's not even funny, right? So when I say Fitness Focus Freedom Friday, fitness, yeah, I'm going to go mountain biking. That's a given. I love that. Fitness, right? Focus. I just told you what I'm focused on. It sounds like it's right. It sounds like it's fireworks that have gone off. It's not. It's very much part of the big plan, right? If we grow our agency and we bring people in to manage these products, but these products are growing revenue, right? And then we're able to expound and bring in more people through the apprenticeship program, and we're able to grow in that way. Hopefully you see that it's going to allow us to focus more and more on the direction we're going, right? Creating these enterprise learning systems for people. So that focus, right? Focus. Fitness, freedom. That's the whole thing I've been talking about, right? Freedom. We got to give ourselves the chance to express ourselves, the chance to work, the chance to create revenue, the chance to be somewhere where we can afford to live and do the things we want to do. Last night, I usually cook. I cook like 80% of the meals in my home. Last night, I was like, hey, babe, let's just go out. Let's go to El Patrio and let's have some margaritas. And my wife was like, margaritas? I'm in. We don't do that a lot. Right? I usually cook at home. Freedom. We have the freedom to go do that now. We didn't have the freedom to do that 3 years ago living in California because we were broke, right? And to go out for dinner in California, it was like $100 to step out your front door. Here, Kansas, boom. Wonderful dinner. Unbelievable dinner. Margaritas. Big margaritas. And I think it was $61, I think was pre-tip. I tipped the snot out of this guy. He was working his butt off. He had multiple tables. I tipped him like crazy. Why? Freedom. Fitness, focus, freedom, and today's Friday. Finish the week strong. Folks, that's it for me today. I'm going to leave it at that. Maybe we should, you want to play a video clip? Maybe we'll do that. Let's do add new. Let's boom, blowing it up and keeping it real with Mañana No Mas. Have a good one. Bye bye. Well, I made it sound all easy.